T-Boys TV has finished. Luton Town 3, Bristol City 1. Much needed win. Now, obviously, based on other results, we are still in the relegation zone, but it's a much needed win because we could have been even further away if we didn't, especially when they equalised. But the lineup going into it was the usual 3-5-2, what we have seen, bar obviously Derby recently. And it was Belwin left wing back, which I actually prefer seeing him there. And I think today showed why. I mean, in the first half, I thought he was our best player personally. And then you had Ali and Morris up front. I mean, I know I've said what I've said about Ali up front. Just because he's not tall, we do like to lump it up there to them strikers. But holding up the ball today, he was immense. Everyone was immense. It was a great all-round team performance for me. And then going into the first half, I mean, it was 0-0. We did have our chances. Asgard with the two closest chances, one where it hit him, nearly went in. Great save by the keeper, to be fair. The free kick, he was unlucky. Bristol City had some chances they put wide. Maybe we edged it slightly, being better in the first half, but it was a tight first half. And then the second half, someone must have shown the games, the results currently. Derby were 2-0 up, and we just come out and we were good. Asgard, long range shot. I called it on a hat show. I said Asgard to score from long range. And with them two other chances, even though the block hit him and that was in the box, that free kick was close, hit the roof of the net. Then he scored. Makoso with the assist. Makoso, immense again. What a player he is. He can take long throws for us. He can defend well. Oh, mate, what a player. What a player. And like I've said, it's a blessing in disguise McGuinness and Naismith are out in the Watford game because he wouldn't have got an opportunity for me, if that was the case. And then they equalised. Now, we haven't conceded a goal pretty much straight away for a while. You think of Burnley in the Premier League. There was Grimsby in the FA Cup. There was a game more recent than both of them, but I can't quite remember who it was. But we hadn't done that for a while. Great finish. Kaminsky couldn't have done anything. Tanner, great finish by him. But then we just had the urgency. And again, it probably links to what was said after. Someone must have said about the Derby game because we were so good in the second half. And we weren't bad in the first half. But the second half, we were just so good, so ruthless. Morris with the goal, he was really good in this game. Best game in a while, obviously, because the previous games he hasn't even got, any shots on target. But this game, considering he was getting held on, great finish. Score from a set piece as well, which is great. Liam Walsh's deliveries today, excellent. And then they made a few changes. We brought on Reece Burke. Reece Burke was like how he was in the playoff final for me when he come on. He actually come on where majority of us want to see him as well, as a centre-back, not a wing-back. And he was unbelievable. The stuff he was doing, taking long throws. He's actually getting a few decent crosses into the box as well. He went on the left-hand side for a bit as well. He was just everywhere in a good way. And then obviously Jones got the goal. Jones, good to see Jones get full 90 minutes because the last two games he hasn't quite been able to do that. What a goal that was. Crossbar post in. Oh my God. Banging goal. And from there on in, you're thinking, okay, we're in a very good position now. I mean, Bristol City did have chances in the second half since the goal, but they weren't great. They were blazing them over, wide, etc. So from there on in, you thought, yeah, okay, this is our day, really, when it comes to this game. And, it's a great result against a team who are right up there, still in the playoffs as it stands. Coventry did lose, but however, Middlesbrough lost, which then put Coventry, obviously, back in. Middlesbrough, obviously, out, like I say. Bristol City, 5th. I've got high, positive stuff to say about Bristol City. I said at the start of the year they finished 6th. They'll still get the playoffs. It's just will they get 5th or 6th, in my opinion. And we've done that against a good side. Coventry lost 3-1 to Plymouth. Now, I know we did when we went there, but we can beat Coventry, guys. We really can beat them. You think of historic and memorable games against them. You think of the 5-0 at home. You think of obviously the playoff final being the standout. But even when we went to their ground, guys, and that was under Rob Edwards, we scored 2 goals in the first half. And we weren't even great in that game. Coventry had some great chances. I know they beat us in the end, but that was even a tight game when we were poor. And I think at home now, we just need to stick it on them. They'll be looking to bounce back. Of course they will. But for me, it's a good opportunity, And then we got West Brom, who most likely going to be out of the playoff conversation now, obviously lost to Derby, which weren't great. Ideally, I wanted to draw Hull 1 as well, which didn't really help, but Oxford are sort of dragged into it, but they did get a late draw at Cardiff as well, which did help because obviously it put Cardiff away from us because there was a stage where they were 1-0 up. But, we got the result we needed. We're still in it, but we can still do this, guys. We can stay up. We really can stay up. But yeah, man of the match, very difficult. I'm looking at everyone now. Kaminsky, 2 vital saves. One, they could have scored a rebound. They didn't. But it's a great save originally. Makoso, really good again. McGuinness, solid again. Unlucky, nearly scored a header. I think he was offside from a Walsh cross, but he was good again. Mengi, few shouts for a potential penalty. I don't think it was, personally. I think they're both sort of all over each other. But at the end of the day, other than that, that was the Mengi of old. I think he's our best defender. I'm going to stand by it. He can play anywhere across that back three as well, which not a lot of them can. Some of them can only play 2 positions in that back three. Jones, really good again. Like I say, happy that he got a full 90 minutes. Bell was really good. Best player in the first half for me. I prefer him as a wing-back. I do want to see that more going forward. Walsh, good again. The only thing I will say about Walsh, does give away quite a few, cheap fouls, which is frustrating. Asgard, really good. Like I said, called him to score from outside the box, so I was buzzing with that. Lamine, decent in the game again. Morris, best performance in a while. Ali, really good hold-up play. Really, really good hold-up play. And then obviously the subs, Burke, like I say, he was like as influential as the player final. And then obviously Baptiste. Baptiste put in a decent shift, to be fair. Done a good tackle. So yeah, guys, I'm buzzing. We needed that. We really needed that. But yeah, shout out to everyone that watched my live on TikTok. Shout out to the new followers on there. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game. Luton fan, Bristol City fan, or neutral fan, if you did watch it, do let me know your thoughts. Can Luton survive? Do let me know your thoughts on that as well. Smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials. Subscribe to the Extra channel. Till next time, take care, peace. Come on!